mag-review ulit tayo, and our review for today is all about dispute resolution. Kasi may quiz kami bukas. Dispute resolution. Ulit-ulit naman to, no? Kaugot na, oh. Ulit na review, hindi pa rin matandaan. Pabobo. Charot. Ulit-ulit, no? Charot. So, conflict. What is conflict? Conflict, it is a clash between individuals arising out of differences and through process, attitude, understanding, interests, requirements, and even though sometimes perceptions. And conflict theory. So, when we say perpetual conflict, it is refers to the no-ending conflict. So, no-ending conflict. Walang katapusang conflict. And when we say suppressing it is stopping, preventing, and they use the power or the force. That is the suppressing. Next one is the assumptions of conflict theory. The assumptions of conflict theory, number one is competition. So, there is competition because of limited resources, scarcity of resources, lack of resources. So, they compete because they want to have part or portion of that limited resources. Another one is the revolution. Revolution, it is a product of conflict, but they feel inequality. So, that conflict may lead to revolutionary movement or action. And another one is the structural inequality. So, meaning to say, it is inequality or unequal structure or imbalanced power. The next one is the interest conflict. Interest conflict, it is denotes differences over issue like money, resources, or time. Next is war. War, it is conflict between both country or other countries. Next one is the information conflict. Information conflict, it refers to the lack of information, insufficient information, scarcity of information. So, it can lead also a conflict. Another one is the values conflict. So, this refers to the belief or conflict between belief or incompatible belief. Another one is the relationship conflict. Relationship conflict, it is the conflict between the relationship even with your family, your relationship with your loved ones, and your siblings. Yeah, that's the assumption of conflict theory. So, dito tayo sa phases of conflict. Phases of conflict. Number one is the prelude to conflict. Prelude to conflict, it is the starting point, or we determine the factor of that said conflict. Number two, triggering event. Triggering event is the event or situation wherein triggers to make an conflict. Number three is the initiation conflict. Initiation conflict, it is meaning to say that there is also arguments or conflict. And next is differentiation conflict. Differentiation conflict, initiation phase differentiation phase. So differentiation phase na tayo. Differentiation phase, it is refers to the starting point of settlement. Meaning to say, both parties are given opportunity to speak out. Okay? And the last one is resolution. So resolution phase is meaning to say the conflict are resolved. The dispute are already resolved in this phase. And the last topic we need to discuss is that the person's dimension in conflict situation. The number one is competition. The number one is assertiveness. When we say assertiveness, it is not open-minded or even they satisfying their own concerns. And cooperative. This meaning to say that he or she is open-minded, then he is listen to the opinions of others or satisfying the other person's concern. Avoiding in conflict, it is avoidance of both parties in settling the conflict. So meaning to say the both parties are unwilling to settle the conflict they have or arguments or disagreements they have. Second one is the accommodation. Is the giving in. Giving in, it is the accommodation or accepting the other's points so they can manipulate you. Okay? Next one is the standing your ground. Standing your ground, it is standing your own point. So you need to have more courage. Okay? Next one is the compromising. So there is an disagreements, but they want a settlement. So even though there is one compromise, but they want settlement. And the last one is the collaborating. So there is a collaborating. It is an ideal technique in settling the dispute. So this dispute are resolved and this conflict is resolved. And that's all for today's, and good night, mabuhay.